Roger Maris, New York Yankees, 1961. Last game of the season, and there it goes. It's Roger's 61st home run. The new home run king. Or is he? In Babe Ruth's day, 154 games comprised the season. Maris had 8 more games because of the expanded schedule. And fans continue to recognize Babe Ruth as the home run king. Willie Mays has never challenged the Babe 60, but with 646 at the end of 1971, he has an outside chance to top Ruth's career mark of 714. Hank Aaron is number 3 on the all-time list, but coming on fast. At the age of 37, he finished 1971 only 7 behind Mays and only 75 behind Ruth, and he's showing no signs of slowing down. Even Willie Mays agrees that hammering Hank has the best chance to set the new mark.
The immortal Babe Ruth's record of over 700 home runs. Do you ever think about it?
You can forget that. I don't think I'll ever come close.
You think Henry will do it? Henry Aaron?
Well, he might have a chance on it, but Henry is 36 right now, and he can play to 40, 41. He might have a chance. He's in a real good ballpark to do it in.
The Atlanta ballpark's symmetrical layout, 330 down the lines, 400 feet straight away, is indeed suited to Aaron. Early in 1971, Hank Aaron hit home run number 600, joining Ruth and Mays as the only men ever to reach that pinnacle. Then there's the exclusive 500 club of home run hitters. Mel Ott's style of lifting his front leg didn't stop him from smacking 511 career homers. Frank Robinson is the newest member of the 500 club. He made it during the 71 season. Here's another recent member, Harmon Killebrew, who at 35 years of age should have many more 4-baggers left in that big bat. Ernie Banks, Mr. Cup, reached the milestone in 1970. And here's number 500. Eddie Matthews, ex-Brave star, drives out one of his 512 career home runs. The Yankees' Mickey Mantle socked 536 homers, topped the 50 mark twice, and terrorized American League pitching with his long-range bombing. They still talk about the one Mickey hit in Washington that ended up a block away from the left field stands and was measured at 562 feet. Mantle came close to hitting one completely out of Yankee Stadium, something not even Ruth accomplished. This shot hit the facade of the roof in right field. Frank Howard has as much raw power as anyone who ever played the game of baseball. His missiles are legendary. Frank shares with Leon Wagner the long-distance record in Dodger Stadium. Jimmy Fox and Mickey Mantle hold the record for Comiskey Park. Luke Easter and Joe Adcock are record holders in St. Louis. Adcock by himself in Milwaukee. Ted Williams, Hank Greenberg, and Dick Stewart at Fenway Park. Harmon Killebrew in Minnesota. In Cincinnati, Ernie Lombardi hit one out into a moving truck that took it 30 miles away. Sometimes it's not only how far or how often you hit them, but when. Lou Gehrig hit 23 home runs with the bases loaded during his shortened career, the premier grand slammer of them all. Willie Mays lost a line in the record book when Pittsburgh's Dale Long wrapped 8 homers in 8 consecutive games. Ted Williams and Stan Musial, 2 all-time great hitters, had a flair for the dramatic in baseball's all-star games. In 1955, with the game tied in the bottom of the 12th, Stan the Man sent the National Leaguers home happy with this round tripper. The 1946 Classic found Ted Williams facing Rip Sewell's tantalizing blooper pitch. Williams bombed the blooper, hit 2 homers, and led a 12-0 American League victory. What many call the most famous home run ever came in the 1951 National League playoff.
Back to throw. There's a left side. It's going to be, I believe, the Giants from the pennant. 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 Bobby Thompson hits into the very back of the left field stand. The Giants from the pennant, and they're going crazy. They're going crazy. I don't believe it. I do not believe it.
The 1960 World Series, bottom of the ninth, seventh game, all tied up. And Bill Mazeroski gave the Pirates a world championship with this clutch home run. Recently acclaimed the greatest living player, Joe DiMaggio starred in 10 World Series. This shot in 1951 was the last home run of his brilliant career. The 1941 All-Star Game in Detroit, with the American League 1 run down and only 1 out away from defeat. Ted Williams blasted this last-ditch 3-run homer to turn the game around. Years later, Detroit again becomes the scene as the American League hosts the National League in the 1971 All-Star Game. Past home run history is headline news in 1971 as the current crop of power-packed All-Stars swing away at the record book, and every fan is suddenly home run conscious all over again. Standing room only crowd jamming Tiger Stadium will see the stars the fans themselves elected to the starting lineups through nationwide balloting.
This is an all-star ballot. Will you fill them out? On the way out, put them in the all-star ballot box. Vote for your favorite ball players.
I didn't get one.
Okay, here's one for you.
Each year now, fans participate in electing the starting lineups of the All-Star teams by ballots distributed at ballparks or through thousands of convenience stores throughout the land. And don't think this isn't serious business for those who love the game, young and old alike.
Ready? Shortstop, the Aparicio. He's had a good year. No, Aparicio would be great. It's a cellular on third.
As the voting progresses, the public is kept up to date by means of the most sophisticated computer systems. After the final tally this year, Hank Aaron receives a special award from Gillette's president, Bill Salatich, for getting the most votes of all the players for the second year in a row.
The Gillette Award, most popular player by vote of the fans, All-Star Game 1971, Henry Aaron, and 2 years in a row to be selected this way, Hank, it's got to make you feel awfully good. Congratulations. Thank you.
When he was a boy growing up in Mansfield, Louisiana, Vida Blue's idol was Willie Mays. He never dreamed that someday he'd be playing in the same ballpark with his lifelong hero. And tonight, the first batter that the sensational young Vida Blue will face in this game will be 40-year-old Willie Mays. It should be just one of the dramatic moments of baseball's 42nd Major League All-Star Baseball game.
Remember Whitey Ford, winner of 10 World Series games? Well, today he's pitching to his son, Eddie. Boy, is he catching on.
I like to stay on the young side, with sensible exercise and sensible eating, like Kellogg's Product 19, the high-potency cereal with all of the minimum daily adult requirements for vitamins and iron.
All the flavor, too, Dad.
Want to get back on the young side? Start with Kellogg's Product 19.
Hi, everybody. I'm Kurt Gowdy of NBC Sports to call the play-by-play. My television partner, Tony Kubek, will be analyzing the game, and roaming the stands will be our man, Lindsey Nelson, bringing you between innings and half-innings reports. And here in the home ballpark of the American League Tiger Stadium, it is hot and it is very windy. The wind is going to be a big factor in tonight's game. It's blowing from home plate to right field at 30 miles an hour. And you know, the American League is trying to stop an embarrassing 8-game losing streak. The games have been close. 5 of the 8 losses by the American League have been by 1 run. But Tony Kubek, the American League has just not been able to get over the edge.
Kurt, the games have been close, and when you look at this ballpark, a hitter's ballpark, and you look at that power-laden National League lineup, you could almost see their eyes light up as they came out of the dugout, especially with that wind blowing out to right field today. The eyes of Willie McCovey and Willie Stargell, the real power left-handed hitters. Well, let's take a look right now at this ballpark, one known for hitting. First of all, starting from the left field line, a respectable 340 feet. But then you get to left center field, the power alleys, the alleys where most balls are hit. 365 to left center. Dead center field, 440 feet, a place where Willie Mays will be able to go and get them tonight. In right center field, the paradise for the left-handed hitters. 370 feet in the right center field power alley, and just 325 down the right field line with an overhang, which is actually 15 feet closer in that vicinity. It looks like a game of power. This is the starting pitcher, Doc Ellis, for the National League All-Star team. We talked to Doc before the game about the All-Star game and pitching to this American League team.
Well, Tony, first of all, it's a privilege being here, and it's a privilege also being chosen as a starting pitcher. And as far as the American League lineup, I don't know too much about the American League. I'm just going to go out there and throw it and hope they don't hit it. That's about it.
Doc Ellis, and now let's look at Vida Blue, the sensation 21-year-old left-handed pitcher. Vida, as Kurt mentioned, will be facing a power-laden National League lineup led off by the great Willie Mays. Here's Vida Blue.
Well, first of all, Tony, it's great and honor to be here, and I'm happy about being the starting pitcher for the American League All-Stars. And, well, to face Willie Mays and some of the other powerful stars they have in the lineup is quite an honor, and I can guarantee you they'll have all the respect in the world for me out there.
National League manager Sparky Anderson has a lineup he'd like to ride out every day. Willie Mays, center field. Hank Aaron, right field. Joe Torre, third base. Willie Stargell, left field. Willie McCovey, first base. Johnny Bench, catcher. Glenn Beckert, second base. Bud Harrelson, shortstop. And Doc Ellis on the mound. American League manager Earl Weaver can afford to smile at his lineup card, too. Rod Carew, second base. Bobby Mercer, center field. Carl Yastrzemski, left field. Frank Robinson, right field. Norm Cash at first base. Brooks Robinson, third base. Bill Freehan, catcher. Luis Aparicio, shortstop. And Vida Blue pitching. Last year, the National League captured its 8th straight victory, adding injury to insult, as Pete Rose bowled over Ray Fosse to tally the winning run in extra innings. But that was BB, before Blue. Vida Blue, that is. Hall of Famer Charlie Gehringer throws out the first ball. And the ceremonial activities draw to a close, and it's time for the fans' favorites to fight it out in a 42nd edition of the All-Star Game.
Participated in the first All-Star Game in 1933. Charlie Gehringer will throw out the first pitch of the game to the American League All-Star catcher, Bill Freehan.
The pitch, hit, and throw of champs tonight. The 9-year-old champ is Dan Langmaid of Wheaton, Illinois. The 10-year-old champion, Chet Masterson of Vicksburg, Mississippi. the 11-year-old champion, David Swartz of Phoenix, Arizona, and the 12-year-old champion, Wallace McDuffie of Gaston, Alabama. 450,000 boys participated in Phillips' 66 pitch, hit, and throw this year, the second year of the nationwide program for boys, and is turning into an outstanding baseball promotion for the boys in this country. This 1971 All-Star Game is being brought to you from Tiger Stadium in Detroit, Michigan. The two managers, Earl Weaver and Sparky Anderson, were the umpires for the meeting at home plate. Let's listen in.
No, yeah. He does all right, yeah.
And with this guy throwing,
All right. Yeah.
Gentlemen, we'll start off. In fact, I want to congratulate all you fellows for being in an all-star game. Mr. Sparky Adams, Mr. Earl Weaver, umpires. It's really a privilege for me. Anyway, we'll start with the break. Up there, up above, side of play. Off the rubber. It's got to go in the dugout. If there's a glove on there, we count it as part of the dugout. The bullpen over there, if it goes over the roof, it's in. The foul poles of yellow is a home run. Above it, whatever it does. If it goes into the stands, it's two bases. If it comes back, it's in play. The flagpole, which we have discussed about 4 times, isn't that interesting? If it goes below, it's 2 bases. If it goes above the fence, it's a home run. If it comes back, it's in play. The left field foul line is the same way. The bullpen is the same way also. Now, if it should go in where them fellas with the white shirts that are going to scrape the field in the 5th inning, we'll call it dead.
All right.
All right?
Hit him and
call it dead.
All right, just kill it.
Now, the tarp, if it's in play, all right. If it goes behind, we won't call it.
Get up on there and jump, right?
That's right. You can make a catch on it. Now, also, the dugout, it's got to go in if there's a glove, the same way as yours. Gentlemen, good luck to both of you.
Thank you, Frank.
Come out
Okay,
swinging.
how do we get out of here? Take it back.
Kurt, we saw the trademark of Vida Blue running out to the mound. He's running out to meet the #1 hitter in this National League All-Star lineup, Willie Mays. Let's hear what Vida Blue has to say about pitching to Willie Mays, the first hitter in this All-Star game.
well, first of all, Tony, let me say it's a pleasure for me to just be here. But I think Vida will probably throw me the fastball. I've seen him pitch a couple of times, and I think his best pitch right now would be his fastball. So I think he will start, off the game with a fastball, trying to get ahead of me. But of course, you never know about what's going on. But as far as myself, I think I'll be swinging.
All right, it's Oakland against San Francisco, the old rivalry, in the first pitch of the strike by Vida Blue. I don't think any pitcher's ever come into this All-Star game with more pressure. This game doesn't count in the standings, but Vida Blue just been hounded since he's been here by the press, the radio, the television, the public. Ground ball to shortstop. Aparicio up, and Willie Mays is out. 1 down.
Willie Mays leads off to test the Majors' winningest pitcher. When he looks at Blue's first pitch, a blazing fastball, he isn't quite sure he saw it. Realizing there's only fast and faster, Willie swings at the second offering and grounds out Aparicio to cash.
Henry Aaron will be the next batter. 2 of the top 3 home run hitters of all time. Mays and Aaron are hitting #1 and 2 in the National League lineup, which is an oddity. Of course, Babe Ruth, the top home run man. This is the 20th All-Star game for Hank Aaron. The first time he has ever seen Tiger Stadium or played in Detroit. The same for Willie Mays, which I say is a strong endorsement. He won the Gillette Trophy for the 2nd year in a row as receiving the most votes from the public of any All-Star player. Henry Aaron winning the Gillette Trophy. But that Mays and Aaron haven't played here, I think, is a strong endorsement for interleague play. The Tiger fans are really anxious to see them here. A strike at the knees by Vida Blue. How do you describe Vida Blue? I think one way you can describe him, a long, loose arm. A great athlete, tremendous football player in high school, marvelous rhythm, big bounding ball to Brooks Robinson. And his throw's there, and they're 2 down. Joe Torre will be the next man up. He leads the National League in batting with a .359 average, 14 homers, 65 RBIs. The batters that we talked to that face Vida Blue say he doesn't look as fast from the stands as he does in the batter's box. That about a yard or two in front of the plate, suddenly the ball shoots at you. It takes off. It jumps. And it can sail. It can swerve. His fastball's alive. That's his pitch. There it is. He leads the majors in strikeouts. We've had Dean and Grove and Koufax and Feller and Drysdale, great pitchers, come in here. Gomez, never with 17 wins at the All-Star break. 2 strikes. Blue 17 wins, the most that the pitchers had at the All-Star break. The previous high was Bobby Feller, 16 in 1941, and Denny McLean won 16 games coming into the All-Star game of 68. The National League high was Drysdale's 15 wins. Koufax, Marichal, and Necro. 2 down, nobody on. 2 strikes to Joe Torre. Playing Torre straight away. A high fly to shallow center. Looks like an easy 1-2-3 inning for Vida Blue. Mercer lost his cap. Look out. Carew goes back. And that's it. The National League is easily retired by Vida Blue in the top of the first. And so the American League now will come to bat with no score.
And here's Hank Aaron now, number 2 in the order. Hank has never had an extra base hit in All-Star competitions, and he still hasn't as he bounces out to Brooks Robinson on a high hopper. Joe Torre, batting number 3. Pops out to Rod Carew, and Vida Blue, a 1-2-3 inning behind him, characteristically trots from the mound to the dugout.
Coaching for the American League, Billy Martin, the manager of the Tigers, a former American League infielder, mostly with the Yankees, and Billy Hunter, who also was an infielder in his playing days, third base coach of the Orioles, Earl Weaver's selection here tonight. Well, all the talk's been about Vida Blue, but here's a fella, Doc Ellis, who has quite a record himself. He leads his league in victories with 14. He has the lowest earned run average, and he has a 12-game winning streak. The last time he lost was to the Dodgers at Pittsburgh on April 27th. Since that date, he started 13 games and won 12 times. Rod Carew got off to a very slow start this year. He's been recovering from a knee operation, but he is sizzling now. Batting .283. He was hitting around .210, .220 a month ago. He's hit over .400 in his last 25 games. He's a bat control hitter. He gets a piece of the ball most of the time. His 5th All-Star start. Playing second base. Ellis's pitch is high and away to him for a ball. Bobby Mercer will be on deck, and then Carl Yastrzemski. They're playing Carew straight away. Remember, a 30-mile-an-hour wind blowing from home plate toward first base. The ball, anything hit in the air toward right field, will be given a tremendous boost.
And the American League, with 4 left-handed hitters in the lineup, has an advantage. There's Mercer on deck of the Yankees. The National League with 2 left-handed hitters, McCovey.
Bounding ball to second baseman Beckert. An easy play for him, and there's 1 out. Bobby Mercer, who's arrived this year, is a real star with the Yankees. Tony Oliva could not play with a sprained knee, so Mercer replaced him as a starter. Mercer leads the American League in base hits with 103. He's batting .341. Not too big. You wonder where he gets his power. 16 homers, 50 runs batted in. He lives in Pittsburgh now. He's born in Los Angeles. An outstanding high jumper at Harvard Junior College in Wilmington, California. A base hit, our first one tonight. Bobby Mercer's on.
Bobby Mercer hits one up the middle for the first base hit of the game.
Mercer at first, 1 out. No score, last of the first. Yastrzemski tied an All-Star game record by coming up with 4 hits in last year's game. He had 3 singles, a double. He was voted the outstanding player of the game. He played 6 innings in the outfield and 6 innings at first base. Takes one of the hardest swings in baseball. 3 times an American League batting champ. Change up, bounce slowly to second. Beckert will have to go to first baseman McCovey. Mercer advances into scoring position. 2 down, and Frank Robinson comes into the All-Star game batting .310 with 14 homers, 57 runs batted in. He wants to manage. He has managerial equipment, but his own manager, Earl Weaver, says he's still too good a player to manage. So where do you find bats like Frank Robinson?
Well, he's had the experience managing the last couple of years in winter baseball. A good handler of men, and gives a lot of good advice to young players.
Mercer at second, 2 down. Fine stop by Johnny Bench. Ball 1 to Frank Robinson. Robinson will crowd the plate. Probably closer than any player in the game tonight. Led his leagues many times in being hit by pitch ball. Sends a ground ball to shortstop Bud Harrelson, who gobbles it up, and the American League is out in the last of the first inning. They had no runs, 1 hit, there were no errors, 1 left. At the end of the first inning in Detroit, it is 0-0.
Carl Yastrzemski hits a bouncer to the right side. Too slow for the double play, and Beckert throws him out at first. Frank Robinson bids for a base hit up the middle. But Bud Harrelson scampers over, gobbles it up, and the inning is over with no score.
Repeat after me. I, Johnny Bench.
I, Johnny Bench.
Have switched to Gillette Platinum Plus blades.
Have switched to Gillette Platinum Plus blades.
Because they shave me closer and with more comfort.
Me too.
Me too. Me too what?
They shave me closer and with more comfort, too.
You better just stick to catching.
Gillette Platinum Plus. Double edge or injector. Both with platinum smooth edges for smoother shaves.
Double edge or injector.
Can I get some Gillette Platinum Plus injector blades for my brother?
Sure, John.
Thanks.
At your local store.
Walter Alston, the longtime manager of the Dodgers, is coaching at first base. Former coach of his and now managing at San Diego, Preston Gomez, coaching at third for the National League. And here's the power king of the majors this year, Willie Stargell. He has 30 home runs. He hit 31 all last season. He's knocked in 87 runs. Leads the majors in both departments, and he's batting .320. Everything in his favor tonight. A short right field and a strong wind blowing toward right. But he's facing a left-hander. Vida Blue hits Stargell.
Kurt, that appeared to be the first breaking pitch that blew through. He just threw fastballs the first inning. Let's watch it again. Stargell taking the pitch perfectly, turning his back to prevent injury. A breaking ball that he tried to overthrow and got inside to Stargell.
Vida Blue now will face Willie McCovey, who's been a crippled player this year. He just came off the disabled list. He's played 4 games. He's going to have a knee operation at the end of the year. He's batting .285. Ball 1 to him. 11 homers, even though he's been a part-time player, and 41 RBIs. One of the picture hitters in baseball, hits with tremendous power and hits for a good average. Stargell on first, nobody out, no score. The 1-0 pitch. Blew it right by him, 1-1. Again, that quick one, that ball just jumping in there as it gets to home plate. Strike 3, got him on a blazing fastball. Boy, did that one pop into Johnny Bench's mitt.
His fastball never moves, it doesn't seem, the same way Tice. He'll start a fastball low in the strike zone. It looks like it's going in the dirt, and it'll actually jump up those last couple of feet and get in the belt-high zone.
Well, of course, the talk about Blue is his remarkable control at the age of 21. Koufax didn't arrive as a great pitcher until he was 27, 26. Lefty Grove until he was 27. It seems to take left-handers longer, but not this youngster. He's walked only 2.7 batters every 9 innings this year. Very good control. Bench lofts a high pop foul back toward the seats. Freehand going over, and it's out of play. 1 strike. And Vida Blue, in his last 2 starts, he pitched 9 innings and an 11-inning game where he struck out 17 against the Angels. Didn't win or didn't lose. He left with a score 0-0. He hasn't walked a man in his last 20 innings. That's truly remarkable. Stargell on first, 1 out. 1 strike to Johnny Bench. No score in the top of the 2nd. There's a high drive to deep right center. That one is going, and it is gone in the upper deck. A tremendous drive on a high outside pitch by Johnny Bench. I was just about to say that Blue doesn't give up many homers either.
Kurt, that's the kind of pitch you rarely see hit off a hard-throwing fastball pitcher like Vida Blue or a Koufax or any other hard thrower. A pitch high and almost in the eyes of Johnny Bench. That's the ball that usually really moves. Let's watch Vida's motion all alone. He has a little bit of a pause when he's in his delivery, right about here, and throws the hitters off a little bit. And then that arm, like a slingshot, comes over the top. But that time, not good enough. He got the ball up, and Bench really powered it to right center.
Johnny Bench is up now. And there's a long shot. And that ball is going, and it is gone. A home run to deep right center. And the National League has dented Vida Blue's armor by jumping off to an early 2-0 lead.
I don't think the wind helped that ball too much. The ball just jumped out of it.
That landed over the 415 marker in the upper deck in right center. A strike to Glenn Beckert. That is a tremendous shot for a right-handed batter to the opposite field. You can't hit him much harder than that. Glenn Beckert, very hard to strike out. Batting .336 for the season. Curve is hit deep into left center. Mercer giving chase. He's over there. He's got it. 2 down. And frail Bud Harrelson of the Mets coming up. The key player in the Mets. He was kidding tonight. He said, I wonder how come they got all those other fellas hitting above me in the lineup. I mean, guys like Aaron and McCovey and Stargell. I ought to be up there in the power spots. He's batting .268. No homers. 20 RBIs. 2 runs in for the National League in the top of the 2nd. Broken bat fly ball to right field. Frank Robinson's there. And that's it. But Johnny Bench hit a gigantic home run to right center to give the National League 2 runs. 1 hit. There were no errors and nobody left. At the end of an inning and a half, it's the Nationals 2 and the Americans nothing. Gentleman in the dark suit with the glasses is Senator Robert Griffin of Michigan. Charlie Gehringer next to him, and Commissioner Kuhn in the white suit with the glasses, and Mrs. Kuhn. They're in the commissioner's box tonight. Norm Cash getting a big hand. First baseman of the Tigers. Just a few years ago, he was being booed heavily here by these hometown fans, but he's having his best year in 10 years. He's tied with Melton of the White Sox for the lead in homers in the American League with 20, batting .293. And he was mad about this All-Star game a few days ago. Foul ball. When Boog Powell was elected and then became injured, Earl Weaver decided he wouldn't pick another first baseman, that he had Frank Howard in there and Frank Robinson, or you Spencer could play first. The changeup is in. So Cash got mad at Weaver, but they patched it all up now. And Cash said, well, sure, I wanted to play. I wanted to play in Detroit. I was mad for a while, but then when I got to understanding it and talked to Earl, it's all cleared up. Cash strikes out. First strikeout for Doc Ellis. They called it the Brooks-Robinson World Series last year, and he's going right along since then, having another good year, batting .294 with the Orioles. He's had some key home runs this year. He's hit 10, knocked in 54 runs. Ground ball in the hole. Harrelson with a long throw to make, and he's got it. That's the play they test the shortstop on, and they scout a young shortstop. Can he make the throw from the hole?
Well, they say of Buddy Harrelson in the National League, and not just the Mets, all the other clubs, that he covers more ground than anybody in baseball. And he shows he can go to his right. He can get rid of the ball. made a great play in the All-Star game last year to prevent a ball in Cincinnati from going to center field and break up a possible American League rally.
Bill Freehan, this is the 6th consecutive start, the longest starting streak of any American League players. Ray Fosse was scheduled to start, but he was injured and had to withdraw from the game. Freehan batting .279 for the Tigers. Ball 1 to him. 2-0, National League ahead on Johnny Bench's 2-run homer. The on-deck batter is Lou Aparicio of the Red Sox. There's a long drive to left field. Stargell back, has room, and grabs it right up against the fence. The wind held that one up.
Didn't quite get it, Kurt. It looked like changed up, and he got on the end of the bat.
So at the end of 2 innings in Detroit, Michigan, the scores are National League 2 and the American League nothing.
Bill Freehan hits a long fly ball deep to left field, and Stargell hauls it in just short of the fence.
Doc Ellis, the National League pitcher, will be leading off against Vida Blue. 2-2 delivery. Second strikeout for Vida Blue. 1 out in the 3rd, and Willie Mays up. Willie grounded out his first time. Well, they seem to be turning that calendar back out there in the Bay Area. First it was George Bland at the age of 43 in football, and here's Willie Mays at the age of 40 in baseball. This is Willie's 22nd game in a row and his 17th start. He holds the All-Star record, many of them. Change-up is hit high in the air into right center. Bobby Mercer going over, and it's Frank Robinson as the wind kept blowing the ball back to Robinson, taking it. I think Mercer got fooled by that wind, Tony.
Frank Robinson actually gave up on the ball. He thought Mercer had it all the way. Now they're getting their signal straightened out there.
Willie Mays up in the 3rd, and there's a high fly toward Mercer. That strong wind begins to pull it away from him, but Frank Robinson cruises over and makes the catch. Hank Aaron steps in for the 2nd time.
The All-Star game has not been Henry Aaron's bag. Ball 1, he's played in a lot of them, but he's hit only 175. He's had 10 hits, and they've all been singles. Tonight he wants his first extra base All-Star hit. Strike, something else he wants is to break Babe Ruth's all-time home run record. He is 98 behind Babe Ruth. His knee holds up, but his health continues good. He might have a chance. One ball, 1 strike. You know, it's odd, Tony. He's 4th of all time in extra base hits in baseball, and he can't get an extra base hit in an All-Star game, as many as he's played in. 2 down, nobody on. 3rd inning, the National League ahead, 2-0. A high fly ball, the wind carrying that one out, and it is gone in the upper deck. Henry Aaron gets his first extra base hit, his first All-Star homer, and 2 right-handed batters have hit home runs to the opposite field off Vida Blue.
Blue did not make a bad pitch, it didn't look like. The ball looked like it was almost by Henry. He just kind of waved at the ball, just flipped at it with those quick hands and arms of his. And the wind got hold of it and really pushed it out. See how far back that ball is on Aaron. Look at that. He didn't even have full extension on those arms. You could see those hands had not come through yet. Was not hitting the ball way out in front. And yet the wind got hold of it and carried it into the right field stands, the upper deck.
Blues pitch, and there's a long high drive deep to right field. It's gone. Hank Aaron's first All-Star extra base hit, and it gives the National Leaguers a 3-0 lead. Hank's the fans' #1 choice in the balloting, and he doesn't let them down.
National League leading 3-0. Joe Torre popped up his first time. A strike to him. Anything hit in the air tonight to right. Watch out. 2 down, nobody on. Crowd still buzzing about Aaron's blow. Strike 2, a curve on the inside corner, 0-2.
Kurt, Torrey's .350 batting average is even more amazing when you realize he does not have the kind of speed of either an Aaron or a Mays or a Matty Alou. He's got a really hit all of his balls hard and get clean base hits.
Struck him out on a curveball. The Vida Blue winds up his 3 innings with 3 strikeouts, but he gave up 2 homers, 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left. At the end of 2.5 innings, the National League 3, the American League nothing. NBC Television estimates an audience of 58 million total viewers on its network of 218 television stations tonight. Game is going to be seen internationally tonight as well. Mexico, Puerto Rico, Virgin Islands, Bermuda, and Canada, where English and French-speaking versions are aired. And the NBC Radio Network, over 200 stations carrying the game, and also Armed Forces Radio around the world to our men and women overseas. Lou Aparicio, the Red Sox, leads off in the last of the 3rd. Doc Ellis's pitch is inside to him for a ball. Jim Palmer will come in and pitch the 4th inning for the American League. Reggie Jackson is on deck to bat for Vida Blue. There's a base hit by Aparicio.
Luis Aparicio up. Winds a single to center, opening the bottom of the 3rd. And now Reggie Jackson steps in to pinch hit for Blue.
Reggie Jackson, batting .272 for Oakland, 17 homers. He's bounced back this year, 41 runs batted in. A fine all-around player. Went for the high, fast one and fouls it back, and Ellis quickly has him 2 strikes. Foul again.
Ellis throwing the ball right by Reggie Jackson. Ellis had been going with his slider off and on, throwing fastballs and some pretty hard ones. He's had arm trouble for the Pirates at times this year, but it usually occurs about the 6th or 7th inning when his arm starts tiring.
He hasn't pitched since last Tuesday. He's had 6 full days of rest. Pirates were rained out on Sunday when he was scheduled to pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Reggie Jackson. Doc Ellis pitched a no-hitter at San Diego in June of 1970. He walked 8 in that game, hit a batter, and still pitched a no-hit, no-run game. There's a long drive. That one is going way up. It is off the roof. That hit the transformer up there. A tremendous smash. Only 8 players have hit the ball over the roof here in Detroit. And Jackson nearly did it then out of the ballpark.
It's been done 13 times, Kurt. Norm Cash has done it the most, 4 times. Mantle has done it 3. Williams has done it. But that one was really a smash, more toward right center field. Longest ball ever to be hit out in that area was estimated at 560 feet by Norm Cash. What a smash.
There's a long drive. That one is going way up. It is off the roof.
And there it goes. No doubt about this one. A tremendous home run up on the roof. That ball hit the light tower and bounced back on the playing field. It's a 2-run blast, and the National League lead is narrowed to 3-2. Let's take a second look at that one.
There's a long drive. That one is going way up.
Everyone loves to watch a tape measure shot, and Reggie Jackson is no exception, especially when it's his own.
Tony, remember the home run we saw him hit in Minnesota year before last? It measured 500 and some feet off the top of the scoreboard there in the Twin Stadium. They're still pointing up at the spot where Jackson hit that drive. They can't believe it in the dugout.
It was big Frank Howard to your right of your screen. He looked even in awe, and he said hit a hard one in this park.
Ball 4, and Rod Carew's on. Bobby Mercer singled up the middle his first time. A high pop up to the infield. Bud Harrelson coming in, giving way to Joe Torre, and Torre has to come all the way over by first base on the gallop to take it, the wind blowing it toward first.
Let's watch it again. Here's the Mercer swing. Pop-up that started off near third base. McCovey just gave up on the ball. Look at Harrelson, thinks he's got a shot. McCovey still hasn't moved. Harrelson saying, somebody come here, where are you? And Torre comes into the picture looking at McCovey.
Carl Yastrzemski grounded out to second his first time. He hits a high fly to left fielder Stargell. Harrelson going up. The wind holds it up. Look at that wind hold that ball up and left. Everything hit the right, given a free ride. Balls in the air to left are being held up. Rod Carew at first, 2 down. Frank Robinson up. He grounded to short his first time. A strike to him. National League ahead 3-2 in the last of the third. Runner going, foul ball. They were playing hit and run.
Frank Robinson, seeing that runner breaking, saw the wide open hole as Glenn Beckert had left his position. Tried to shoot one through that area. A little bit late.
A 1-ball, 2-strike count to Frank Robinson. Carew at first, 2 down.
Like Frank is trying to take advantage of that wind. Like he was hitting late, trying to get the ball in the air.
He's got a drive deep to right field. That ball is going. It is gone. A home run.
Certainly talk about place hitting. I've got to believe that Frank Robinson, the last 2 swings. Let's watch it again. Looks like he's dead. You can see that right elbow close to his body to prevent that barrel of that bat getting out too soon so he would not pull the ball. He actually placed the ball in that direction, which is pretty good hitting.
Frank Robinson steps in with 2 down. Carew still on first. And there's a well-hit ball deep to right. And it's in the seats for a home run. Frank Robinson puts the American League out in front 4-3 with the second 2-run homer of the inning and the 4th homer already in this game.
4 home runs tonight. Here's Norm Cash now. He struck out. Strike 3. Slow breaking pitch. 4 runs for the American League on 3 hits, 2 homers. There were no errors. Nobody left. At the end of 3, it's the American League 4, the National League 3.
You better hurry, Nancy. I'm pitching today.
Okay.
Well, what are you doing?
We need gas. $1 worth, please. Now for some quick starting gasoline.
What?
And then some detergent gasoline they sell down the road.
Nancy.
What's the matter?
Nancy, you don't have to make 3 stops. Pull in here. This is a Phillips 66 Performance stop. And these are Phillips 3 for the money performance gasolines.
3 for the money?
Right. They give you quick starts, good mileage, and cleansing action. 3 for the money, and that's performance.
Oh, Tom, you take all the fun out of shopping.
The performance stop, Phillips 66.
Let's join our roving man, Lindsey Nelson.
Well, not everybody's too excited down here. Sarah Lynn Seaver is sleeping very soundly. The daughter of Met pitcher and all-star pitcher Tom Seaver and Nancy. How old is she, Nancy?
She's 4 months old.
She's been to Shea Stadium, I know.
Oh, yes, but I think she got a little overconfident about the National League lead here, and she fell asleep.
I see what you mean. Well, on my right is Mrs. Bud Harrelson. Her husband's the National League starting shortstop. That must please you.
Yes, it does very much. We're very happy.
And he's doing very well?
Yes, I'm waiting for his home run.
Fine, very much. Yvonne Harrelson and Nancy Seaver and Sarah Lynn. Now let's go back upstairs.
A strike to Willie Stargell delivered by the new American League pitcher, Jim Palmer. Palmer's won 11 games, lost 4 with the Orioles. Appears to be headed for another 20-game season. Nothing in 2. Well, Stargell's seen those other balls sail out there to right field. He's taking dead aim now. The Orioles could have 4 20-game winners this year. McNally, Cuellar, Palmer, and now Pat Dobson's hot. He's won 7 in a row, and he has 10 victories. Valuable pickup for the Orioles when they got him in a trade from San Diego. Outside, 1-2. Palmer has outstanding velocity on his fastball. 3 or 4 years ago, he appeared to be washed up with arm and back miseries, but he bounced back. They throw down to first. I think it's a strike. The ball went back to the backstop. Stargell is out. It was strike 3. Skipped off the glove of Freehan, went to the backstop. Stargell thought the ball had tipped his bat. And so a strikeout for the pitcher, an assist for the catcher, and a put out for the first baseman. And Willie Stargell, the strikeout victim. 1 out, and Willie Stretch McCovey, who struck out his first time. Ball 1 to him. The American League ahead 4-3 in the 4th inning. Three and 2 count. 1 out, nobody on. Ground ball drilled to second base. Rod Carew to Norm Cash, and they're 2 down. Johnny Bench smashed a home run in the upper deck in right center his first time. He has a weekly TV show now, and his guest, he came in here to tape it in Detroit yesterday, was Vida Blue. Gave Vida a home run for a fee. 2 down, nobody on. Nice host, wasn't he?
Oh, Johnny's been out of that Cincinnati lineup for about 6 or 7 days with that bad wrist. He's had it injected with cortisone, has a lot of contusion in the area, but didn't show on that last swing.
Another great stop by Brooks Robinson. What a pair of hands he's got. That ball was fine. Not too fast with his feet, but with his hands, that's something else again. Ralph Savon, the Baltimore trainer, congratulates him. 3 up, 3 down. And at the end of 3.5 innings, it's the American League 4, the National League 3.
Johnny Bench up. And there's a wicked shot, steered by Brooks Robinson, who plays it over to first and benches out. That's the kind of play that earned Robinson over 1 million votes in the balloting, tops in the American League. Bench is familiar with this scene. He remembers Brooks Robinson from the 1970 World Series. It all happened before, and more than once. That's twice. You can be sure Johnny Bench sees Brooks Robinson in his dreams.
Well, Johnny Bench just went over to Brooks Robinson and said to him, "What's going on? Is this the World Series all over again?" We talked to Brooks about the defensive play in this All-Star game. Let's hear Brooks Robinson.
Well, Tony, this is a hitter's ballpark, and the wind's blowing pretty good, but I wouldn't be surprised if you don't see a couple of outstanding plays that might win the ball game for one of the ball clubs.
And there you saw one.
Fly ball to Willie Davis, backing up, plenty of room, 1 down. Mike Cuellar starting to loosen up. Bill Freehan is flying to left.
Let's watch this famous Marichal leg kick. That smooth delivery, confusing the hitter, hiding the ball, the glove, the leg coming at you, and then the arm over the top.
Pop foul that Lee May is going for. 2 down. Lou Aparicio. Off the pitcher's glove. He'll have plenty of time, though. Throws Aparicio out. And the American League's retired in the 4th. They had 3 up, 3 down. At the end of 4 innings, it's the American League 4 and the National League 3. Now, word on behalf of Major League Baseball. The best entertainment in the country is still baseball. With the cost of virtually everything continuing to spiral upwards, baseball has done a great job of holding down the price of its tickets. In both the majors and the minors, the tickets are reasonably priced, and the show's the best in town. Where else can you so economically take your entire family for an evening of hot dogs, peanuts, pop, and just plain fun? We just got the changes. Clementi's going to hit number 1 in the National League lineup. Lee May 2nd. Willie Davis will bat 9th. Foul back, and Marichal will hit 5th. Rod Carew going for that ball. In time, Cash out of the dirt. 1 away. Switch hitting Bud Harrelson, flying to right his first time. One hopper to Aparicio. That makes it 2 down. Aparicio to Cash. And Willie Davis of the Dodgers coming up. This will be his first time at bat. He's second in his league in batting with a .350 average. He leads the National League in base hits, 126, in doubles and in triples. And this is his first All-Star game. Line shot to right center. Mercer takes it on a hop. Willie Davis is on. We go to the top of the National League batting order. Roberto Clemente, who replaced Willie Mays in that spot, will be up for his first time. Clemente has been the hottest batter in the majors the last 3 weeks. He's hitting .461 in his last 20 games. Strike 3 and a slow curve. Davis bluffed the dash, and Clemente is caught looking. No runs for the National League. 1 hit, there were no errors, 1 left. We've gone halfway, 4.5 innings. It's the American League 4, the National League 3.
Raise your right hand, repeat after me. I, Rico Carty.
I, Rico Carty.
Have switched to Gillette Platinum Plus blades.
I'll switch to Gillette Platinum Plus blades.
The blades with platinum smooth edges for smoother shaves.
It's the platinum that does it, huh?
Just repeat the words, Rico, okay?
Okay.
Gillette Platinum Plus. Double edge or injector. Both with platinum smooth edges for smoother shaves.
Now say save 20 cents on this package of Gillette Platinum Plus 15s, all for good while supply lasts.
Save 20 cents? That's a good deal.
Massive Frank Howard hitting for Jim Palmer. Mike Cuellar will pitch for the American League in the 6th inning. Juan Marichal gets a strike to him. Strike 2. I asked Ted Williams once who hit the longest home runs he's ever seen, and he said Frank Howard. And he's gone from the era of Jimmy Fox right down to the present. Ball one. Ted would have loved to have seen that shot by Reggie Jackson up there in the light towers tonight. Howard has led the American League in home runs twice in the last 3 years. This is a fellow that has 6 or 8 eggs for breakfast, a couple of steaks.
That's a starter, huh?
Just to warm up. 2-2 count. Bounding ball to second base. 1 away.
Well, Kurt, we've mentioned that over the right field fence, there have been 13 balls hit, but an even harder and more difficult task, hitting them out of the ballpark in left field. Only 2 players have done that. Killebrew is one, and Frank Howard, who just grounded out, was the other.
We're at the top of the American League batting order now, and Rod Carew, who's grounded out and walked. He scored a run tonight. Marichal walks him. Marichal doesn't give up many walks. One of the great control pitchers in the game. Bobby Mercer has singled to center and popped to third. Burning fastball for a strike. Off-speed pitch, took just a little off and had Mercer off his timing. Struck him out. First time Bobby Mercer's ever faced Marichal. 2 down. The Giants are trying to hold their lead in the National League West, and this man on the mound right now will be a key for them. See if they can hold on for their divisional title against the challenging Dodgers. Carl Yastrzemski is grounded out and popped up.
Ground ball to Beckert. Over to May, and that's all for the American League in the 5th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left. We've gone 5 innings in Detroit, and the scores, the American League 4 and the National League 3. All right, we've got some changes now for the American League. Al Kaline goes to right field, replacing Frank Robinson. Mike Cuellar is the new pitcher. Amos Otis is in center field, replacing Bobby Mercer. Cookie Rojas has gone to second base in place of Rod Carew. And Harmon Killebrew at first base. Take Norm Cash out. Lee May. Cuellar walks Lee May in the 6th inning. The batter now, Joe Torre, who's popped up and struck out. To Brooks Robinson. There's 1. Rojas pivot 2. Taylor made all the way.
Good quick pivot by Cookie Rojas with Lee May bearing down on him. That Brooksy really got rid of the ball again, didn't he? Here's Brooks again. Get ready stance. Right at him. Knows he's got the time. Watch this quick move by Rojas. Lee May got down there pretty well.
Rojas is having a fantastic year for those Kansas City Royals. Stargell will strike 1 to him. He's been hit by a pitch ball and struck out. Cuellar is one of a small group who's played for both leagues in the All-Star game. And now the National League sends Nate Colbert out on deck. He swung at it. Strike 2. Colbert will bat for Marichal if he gets a chance.
Stargell was really going to get out in front of that one, really try and pull it, and Cuellar threw him the extra slow one.
Yeah, the shift on, you'll note, against Stargell. 2-strike pitch to him. Got him on the slow ball. Crafty pitching by Mike Cuellar in the 6th inning. And at the end of 5.5 innings, it's the American League 4 and the National League 3. Let's quickly go down to Lindsay.
Charlie Gehringer played in the first All-Star game, 1933. Doesn't seem that long ago, does it, Charlie?
No, not really.
What do you remember most about that All-Star game?
Well, the powerful lineup we had mostly because we had the terrific hitters. In fact, they were so good that the National League All-Stars came out to watch us take batting practice.
That was the days of Ruth and Garrett and people like that.
And Fox and Averill and dozens of others.
And Greenberg and Garrett. Charlie, it's so good to see you again. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Nice to see you.
Charlie Gehringer. Now let's go back upstairs.
And just as Gehringer was a longtime favorite here in Detroit, the man moving into the batter's box has been in recent years Al Kaline, who's never played a day of minor league baseball. Came right out of the high school playing fields of Baltimore to join the Tigers and has been here ever since. He's facing Ferguson Jenkins, and Kaline on the first pitch has a base hit to center. And of course the hometown Tiger fans love it. Ferguson Jenkins comes in to face the American League in the 6th inning with a score still American League 4, National League 3. Hometown favorite Al Kaline leading off. And there's a line drive single to center. Don Kessinger has gone to shortstop. Harmon Killebrew now will be hitting in Norm Cash's spot. And then Brooks Robinson on deck. The killer. 2 more homers, and he'll have 500 lifetime homers. 3-2. You can't wander far off that back against Johnny Bench, who makes those quick snap throws.
Killebrew looking down at Billy Hunter, the third base coach, looking to see if he's going to have Kaline moving.
There it goes. There's a long belt to deep left. That one's up. It is gone. A home run for Killebrew.
Killebrew really lifted that one, Kurt. A low sinker ball on the 3-2 pitch. Let's see him go down after this pitch. See Bench going down and inside. Ball down around the knees, inside corner. Killebrew didn't hit it as hard as a lot I've seen him hit.
Jenkins now has the job of fooling Harmon Killebrew. He doesn't, and there goes another one. Not even the wind can stop this one. It's another 2-run homer, and Killebrew has stretched the American League margin to 6-3 with the 5th home run of this game.
Amos Otis congratulating him, as was Kaline right behind him.
So it's now 6-3 in favor of the American League. They've had 3 homers. The National League's had 2. Ball 1. They've had 9 runs in the game. They've all resulted from homers tonight. That's the first homer hit to left field. That was against the wind. Line shot to center. It's a base hit in front of Willie Davis. 3 hits in a row for the American League. And Bill Freehand's the batter. That's 7 hits now for the American League and 3 hits for the National League. And 2 of their 3 hits have been home runs. A high fly ball. He uppercut it too much. Willie Davis backpedaling, drifting with the wind, and puts it away. Back to first base goes Brooks Robinson. 1 out. Now it's Aparicio up. Amos Otis will be hitting in the number 9 spot. Ball hit to second. A Cub double play combination goes to work. Beckert to Kessinger to May. And that's all for the American League in the 6th. They had 2 runs, 3 hits. There were no errors, nobody left. At the end of 6th, the American League 6, the National League 3. Don Kessinger will be hitting now in the number 5 spot. He's a switch hitter of the Chicago Cubs. He'll be followed by Johnny Bench and then Glenn Beckert. Fly ball, right field, Al Kaline there. This fellow's played this right field here better than anyone in Tiger history. He makes the play in the corner on the slice hit by a right-hander, holding the batter to a single. Normally a double against most right fielders. Johnny Bench crashed a home run in the upper deck in right center, and then hit a hot shot to third that was by Brooks Robinson. And with those card shark hands of his, he snaked it and fired over to first to get him. He's trying to bunt now on Brooks down at third. He couldn't get the ball by him in the World Series, so he's going to get it in front of him.
That's not too unusual for Bench. You expect him to hit for power, but he's beaten out some bunts this year and last year too. Saw Brooks, who plays a deep third base, tried to lay it down on him.
He got that one by him.
Just
Bench's
barely.
second hit.
He's hit the ball hard every time up.
6-3, American League leading on our NBC scoreboard. Nate Colbert has come out on deck for the National League. Glenn Beckert, the batter. He pops it up. Brooks Robinson gives way to Aparicio. The American League shortstop has it 2 down. And here's power hitting Nate Colbert batting now. Hitting .277. There's Lolich, a 14-game winner for the Tigers. Colbert has 19 homers, 51 runs batted in. He had 38 homers last year. Sort of unrecognized around the country as one of the best power hitters in the game. Pinch hitter Colbert takes a strike. That slow curve in again. Strike 2. 2 down for the National League. Johnny Bench at first. Oh, there's some great pitching. 2 slow ones and got the fastball by him. He had Colbert completely off balance at the plate. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. And now the 7th inning stretch in Detroit with a score, the American League 6, the National League 3. Next Saturday, Tony and I will be in Atlanta, Georgia for NBC's Major League Game of the Week. Maury Wills, Richie Allen, Willie Davis, Wes Parker, some of the stars with the Dodgers, Hank Aaron, Orlando Cepeda, Ralph Garr, Felix Meehan with the Braves. The Dodgers and the Braves at 2 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time right here on NBC. And every Saturday throughout the season, we have 3 more Monday night games for you, too, followed by the playoffs in the American National League, and all capped off in October by the World Series on NBC. Amos Otis now batting in the number 9 spot. It's a fly ball to left field. Willie Stargell will be camped under it. 1 down. Don Wilson is the new pitcher for the National League. Larry Dierker had been announced by manager Sparky Anderson to represent the Astros. Dierker's shoulder tightened up, so Don Wilson replaced him. Now Cookie Rojas is up for the first time, replacing Rod Carew. Rojas gets a foul ball down the left field line. What a job he and Otis have done for the vastly improved Kansas City Royals this year. Rojas having his greatest season is batting .315, 6 homers, 39 RBIs. Hits a fly ball, shallow right. Clemente coming on. He makes basket catches like Mays. 2 down. Don Buford is now coming out. Four pitchers in Major League history have hit home runs in games in which they pitched a no-hitter. And 2 of them are here tonight. You're looking at one right now, Don Wilson. Rick Wise is the other in the National League bullpen. That's all for Buford. He's tagged out by Johnny Bench. Well, the American League's down 1, 2, 3 in the 7th. At the end of 7, it's still the American League 6, the National League 3. Mickey Lolich, the Tiger World Series hero over the Cardinals in '68, enjoying his best year this year with 14 wins and 6 losses, an earned run average of 2.96. And so the National League switches now to right-handed batter Bobby Bonds in place of Willie Davis. Talented young giant outfielder has 20 homers and hitting .312. It's a strike zone. He's knocked in 57 runs. Clemente on deck at the top of the order, and then Lee May. Bonds has great speed. He strikes out a lot. A 1-2 pitch to Bobby Bonds. Curved him, got him. 1 down. Now the American League has gradually sifted its defensive lineup on the field. They have Yastrzemski, the top left fielder in the league defensively in left. Amos Otis, a good center fielder. Kaline in right. They have Robinson at third. Aparicio at short. Rojas at second. Killebrew isn't the top defensive first baseman in the American League. Defensively, George Scott is, but he's not here tonight. Killebrew's at first, and Thurman Munson has gone behind the plate. So with a 3-run lead now, they're going to try and hold it with Lolich and their best defensive players. 1 out, nobody on. Clemente struck out his first time. 1 ball, no strikes. At the knees, 1-1. He won the 3 games for the Tigers when they beat the Cardinals, and he beat Bob Gibson in that dramatic 7th game at St. Louis. Pitching on 2 days rest. The 1-1 pitch. Let up high. Ball 2, 2-1.
Clemente looked like he turned to Frank Umont, the plate umpire, and saying, yeah, let him get that one down in the strike zone. It looked like he was fooled much on the changeup.
On deck is Lee May. Same pitch and high, ball 3. Clemente said, why wasn't that in the strike zone? I'd like to have that one. 1 out, nobody on. Clemente had 10 hits in a doubleheader last August against the Dodgers. A lot of hits in one day. 3-1 to him. It's a high fly into deep right center. Amos Otis way back. That one's going, and it is gone. Almost in the same spot as Johnny Bench's in the upper deck in right center. I've never seen so many long drives to the opposite field by right-handed batters that we've had in this game. That's another tremendous shot for a right-hander. 450, 460.
Here's that Clemente swing once again. Look at that bat stay back. Cock. Now a trademark. Hitting off the front foot. Look at that right foot, the rear foot, a foot off the ground, something that is not advisable as a hitter. But don't tell that to Clemente or Hank Aaron.
Clemente hits a towering shot to right field. And that one is out of here, too, for the 6th homer of the game. Home run power is alive and well in Tiger Stadium. And the American League lead is sliced to 6-4.
A ball to him. 6 home runs tonight, ladies and gentlemen. This All-Star game ties an All-Star game record. 3 by each team. Bench, Aaron, and Clemente for the National League. To the box. Lolich, the first, 2 down. Ron Santo now is coming out to bat for Joe Torre. Santo of the Cubs, another strong right-handed batter. And all 3 National League homers were hit to the opposite field in the upper deck, with Bench and Clemente hitting him in right center well up in the upper deck. Frank Robinson homered to right for the American League. To right.
Jim Perry and Wilbur Wood warming up. Just saw them.
Willie Stargell up next. If Santo does something. A chopper to the box. The National League is retired in the 8th. 1 run, 1 hit, Clemente's homer. No errors, nobody left. We're going to the last of the 8th inning with the American League leading 6-4. All right, we've got some more changes now. Pete Rose has gone to right field for the National League. That's Earl Weaver out checking the batting order. Bobby Bonds goes to center field. Felix Millan to second base. And Ron Santo to third. 4 more changes for the National League. They've really shuffled their lineup tonight. Carl Yastrzemski leading off for the American League in the last of the 8th. He's gone hitless in 3 times. Facing Don Wilson, working on his 2nd inning. He breezed through the 7th. Ball 4, Yastrzemski's on. Al Kaline went up once, had a hit, and he gets a fine ovation from the hometown Tiger fans. Blazing fastball by Wilson. First strikeout for him. Killebrew had a 2-run homer to left in the 6th inning. And right now is the margin in this game. 2-1 pitch. Down to third baseman Sano. For 1, over to first. They've got the double play. Sano, Demian, DeMay. And now we're going to the top of the 9th inning and the last chance for the National League. There were no runs, no hits, nobody left. At the end of 8, it's the American 6, the National League 4. The 9th inning, and Lou Brock is going to bat for Willie Stargell. He'll be followed by Don Kessinger and then Johnny Bench. Mickey Lolich now will try and hold this American League lead. They gave up a hit. That was a home run to Clemente in the 8th. Vida Blue, Jim Palmer, Mike Cuellar, and Mickey Lolich. The exact plans that Weaver announced before the game, and he's followed them with his pitching. Foul back, strike 1. Brock batting .347. He is 3rd in the league in batting. And, of course, an outstanding base runner. all the players, the managers, and the coaches in this game. Tries to bunt. Fast man. Good play by Lolich to get him.
The ball hit squarely on home plate. That's why the big high bounce. And Lolich, in spite of what Earl Weaver says, that he's a little too heavy, made a pretty agile fielding play, getting the fleet Lou Brock. Here it is again, hitting the corner of the plate. Look at Lolich breaking quickly as we see Thurman Munson coming on. Good quick throw to Killebrew covering the bag to get Lou Brock.
Kessinger flying out in his one time up. All the players each received a blue Lindy synthetic sapphire star ring for appearing here in this all-star game. White gold are beautiful. No balls, one strike.
Fred, I think we owe the commissioner some thanks, too, for including us. It's a beautiful ring. Thank you.
That's right, presented by Commissioner Kuhn. 1 out, nobody on. A 2-run lead for the American League in the 9th inning. A fly ball into right field. K-line calling for it, and they're 2 down now. The American League 1 out away from snapping an 8-game losing streak. Alan Roth, our old standby, has been our statistician again tonight and our stage manager. Returning to his native Detroit, Jim O'Gorman. Tom Dawson, director of TV and radio activities for the Major Leagues, and Joe Reichler, director of public relations. Charlie Feeney, president of the National League, and Joe Cronin, president of the American League. We thank them, along with Commissioner Bowie Kuhn, for their cooperation. Johnny Bench has hit the ball hard each time. A home run. A hit taken away from him by Brooks Robinson, and he singled to left. It's 1 strike to him. The National League is going to lose this one if this pop-up is caught. Brooks Robinson up on the mound. It's all over. The American League finally wins one. 8 games in a row they lost. They lost 12 of their last 13. But here in Tiger Town tonight, on home run bats and good pitching, Vida Blue gave up the 3 runs in the first 3 innings, but he's the winner because the American League came up with 4 runs in the last of the 3rd. So Vida Blue was a pitcher of record. He gets the win, and Doc Ellis is the loser. And the final score, the American League, 6 runs, 7 hits, and no errors. The National League, 4 runs, 5 hits, and no errors.
Lou Brock tries to bunt his way on, but Lolich handles it easily for the first out of the inning. Only 2 more outs to go. Don Kessinger lifts a soft fly out toward right field, and Al Kaline has an easy chance for the 2nd out. The National League hopes rest on the shoulders of Johnny Bench, 1970s Player of the Year. Bench hits a sky-high pop-up, and that should do it. Brooks Robinson makes the call. And it's all over. The American League has snapped its 8-game losing streak with a 6-4 win in a power-packed all-star showcase. The big hit was very much in evidence, as 6 home runs told the story. And what a story it was, breaking the record for homers hit by individual players in an all-star game and tying the mark for total home runs. What will next year's game be like? The fans will have a lot to say about it when they cast their votes next June. One thing's for sure, the 1971 version of baseball's dream game will be long remembered as the night the players returned the power to the people.